Hi, I'm Matt Little. I'm the Director of Counselling and Education at Empowering Awareness.Asia, and I'm a proud sponsor of this podcast.
Hi,
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, Ellie. How are you?
I'm very good, very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving me opportunity, to interview you for my YouTube channel and for my podcast and for my channels.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me and for your interest.
So I've gone through your profile. I can see you're doing a lot of work. So I thought to tell about your work to my audience.
Sounds great. Let's go. Let's go for it.
So before talking about you and the work that you are doing and also the work that you have done and what was your motivation, so can you please introduce yourself to my audience?
Yes, sure. Uh, so I'm Eli. I'm Eli Mansoor. I'm based in Israel. I'm long time in the high tech industry, but in the last 10 years, I'm focused on the cloud, the public cloud. Uh, I was leading Rackspace operations in Israel and later on CloudElf, which was acquired by VMware and Broadcom. CloudElf was one of the first startups to deal with cloud cost management and cloud cost optimization, what is called these days as FinOps. And following that, I also spent 4 years at AWS. And in the last 2 years, I manage my own business in which I consult to organizations about uh, how to put in place a practice to optimize their cloud spend. And I support a lot of organizations with signing the commitment agreements with the cloud providers. Worth also mentioning a book I authored about optimizing cloud spend. The book is called Mastering AWS Cost Optimization. Actually, I have it handy here. So people who are in the FinOps world may be familiar with the books, but it's kind of a known book around the globe with a lot of best practices on how to save dollars on cloud infrastructure. So what I do on a daily basis, help cloud users, cloud customers save dollars and sign up the most attractive agreements with the cloud providers. That's what I do.
So what is the scale of the businesses that you work with?
Um, so I'm kind of a boutique business. So I currently do not have the scale to support hundreds of organizations, but I have in my team three more people that supports me. And um we are in the scale of 10 to 20 customers, but very large ones. So it can be banks or it can be in Israel. I support some of the top spenders in the cloud. So these are uh, organizations who spend millions of dollars on a monthly basis on cloud spend. And over there, I can bring very impressive ROI, and we implement very nice programs into the organizations to actually educate hundreds or thousands of developers on how to work efficiently on the cloud. And I also support the Israeli government with their move to the cloud. So I do support some nice organizations, some large organizations, but the quantity is not in the hundreds. It's more in the around 20 customers.
That's wonderful. Before knowing about what you're doing in detail, just I'm very curious to know what actually made you to become and be in the position. where you are today. So what's your background and where you started this?
So I think 10 years ago, I understood that the world is changing. Actually, so I was a salesperson. I was a salesperson with Amdocs. Amdocs is a technology company from Israel in the telco market, and I was relocating to the US. This was 2009 till 2012. And back then I understood that the world is changing. Salesforce was picking up and Amazon was picking up and public cloud in general was picking up. So once I came back to Israel in 2012, I knew I'm going to make the change to this new era of technology. And this was what made me reach out to recruiters around the globe to say, hey, I'm here based in Israel. Are you looking for someone to open your business in Israel? So this is how I found Rackspace. Back then, Rackspace was one of the leading cloud providers. They are the founders of OpenStack before AWS took the market. Yeah, it's the early days of public cloud. And this is how I got into the public cloud market. And I say, wow, this is a huge change that is going to happen. And this is when I joined the ride. And I believe the change is still ahead of us. So we are kind of 10 years, more than 10 years in the journey, but I feel it's like just starting because now the enterprises and the large organizations are going to move to the cloud and they need so much support and so much knowledge and so much practice in order to do it in the right way. So there is a lot ahead of us.
So you are into technology from long time.
Yeah. Technology, I would say, yeah. So I'm 52. Yeah, I just turned 52 yesterday. Yeah, so maybe 25 years in the technology, but I was a developer for a long time. And then I made a move to become a pre-sale engineer and then a sales director. And then I became, after I left, also I worked for Amdocs, but after I left Amdocs, I became the country manager for Rackspace. And this is where I made a complete shift to the business side of it, but I'm still a techie. Yeah, I'm still able to look at cloud architecture and say, okay, is it going to be efficient? Is it going to be non-efficient? Let's do this. Let's do that. So I'm not an architect, but I can be a bit risky with the technology. And I'm not hands-on, but I understand what's going on in the infrastructure.
I can understand you have done development and also engineering and also in the sales and also you was a director. So completely, it seems like you have a diversified career. So how
Yeah,
that is contributing you to be a good businessman today?
because I understand what's going on behind the scene. It really helps me, first, the cloud industry, it's full with techie people. Yeah. DevOps engineers, architects, it's all techie people. So you need to learn, you want to understand their language. This is one. It helps me generate this, bridge between technology and business. Second, I try to do my best to understand the technical alternatives when you build an architecture, when you build a product. Okay, what are your options? And then it helps me get into the discussion with the techies and say, hey, are you using Kubernetes? Okay. Do you know that Kubernetes is not the most efficient, way to run Kubernetes? Let's say EKS is not the most efficient way to run Kubernetes, and Kubernetes has some waste element. Can we discuss that? So you need to know the language, you need to know where to put your focus on. And I think the journey from becoming a developer to becoming a business person really helps in generating the discussion, bridging the gaps, and also focusing on what matters. Yeah, you don't want to spend time on discussing with a developer or a DevOps engineer about how to save $5. You want to save $50,000. So now let's go to where we need to focus on. And sometimes people focus on the little activities, on the small activities, and I try to focus on the much bigger engagements. So the background really helps this to happen. When I travel, when I go to conferences, I do my best to go to reInvent, for example, because this keeps me with up to date to the technology and understanding what's ahead of us. Yeah, so I'm doing my best to travel to the AWS conference or to travel to GCP, to Google conferences. So I'll be up to date with the technology, and then this is going to come next year, 2 years from today, and I'm well prepared to the trends.
So optimization of cost for any organization, when it comes to AWS, is going to be a very big thing. So how you are helping different businesses, and you wrote a book about it, like how you are making things happen and helping businesses to have lesser price for the expenses.
So first, I would say there is a analyst report published by Flexera. So I track it for quite a long time. And 2024 was the first year that they reported that managing cloud spend is the top challenge for organizations. So it used to be cyber. So for years, managing cloud security was the top priority and the top challenge. Now managing cloud spend is the top challenge. So that's, an evidence that that's a big thing. How do we do it? I have a philosophy that is, if people know what to do, they will do it. They will do it right. Yeah. If you will know, if you will be aware of the pricing models, you as a developer, or as a DevOps engineer, you will take better decisions. So I try to. First, I try to understand the company. I try to understand the company business. Yeah, what do they try? What is their business? What are they selling? What is meaningful for their business? Yeah, and then I try to correlate. Then I try to correlate the impact of cloud cost to the bottom line as a business. And then we start to see if it has a meaning. And usually companies who spend millions of dollars on cloud spend, or hundreds of thousands of dollars on a monthly basis of cloud spend, this cloud spend has a meaning to them, as a business. I try to break down the application to different models and try to work with the different teams on how we can measure these costs and make them more efficient. It can be by either re-architecting the component, by either using more efficient resources, by bringing in third-party products, tools. But in general, it's about building a culture within the organization, a culture of being aware of what are your costs, working closely with the team on identifying optimization opportunities, give the support to the executives to prioritize these activities, And then as the optimization is implemented, the organizations see the value, and then we bring more and more and more optimization activities to the pipeline. So it's a process. It's not a one thing activity. It's not a one kind of activity. It's a process. It's a change that I try to implement into the organizations. It takes time also. Yes, sometimes you have quick wins, but it takes time. It can take a year to implement such a process. But once we do start with the process, I quickly have an ROI. So the organization see the value very quickly. I just reported one of the companies I support. We had a meeting with the CEO and we had a slide showing that in the last 6 months, we brought to production and implemented projects that saved $183,000 a month in this organization. So $2 million a year of savings for this specific customer. That's quite meaningful for them.
So how you are able to understand the cost of the AWS services and the businesses, the expenditure of the businesses that you work with. You like you said in the beginning of the call, you are working with different industries and you're working also with the government. They all have their own motives, but eventually they want the services, the technology services, in the lesser cost and for the business idea that they have. So how you are able to help them in managing their finances.
Yeah. So first, I invest a lot of time to understand the pricing models of the different products, of the different cloud services. So AWS has around 200 or more services. I don't know everything, but I really deep dive into, okay, what is the pricing model of EC2, of S3, of EBS, of RDS, service by service, and understand the nuances. Okay, can I commit to the service? Can I change the processor type? Can I change the disk type? So this is from the point of view of the cloud provider. I spend a lot of time to understand the nuances of the pricing model. Yeah, that's the kind of a piece of knowledge that is needed. Actually, I also deliver trainings about this. Yeah, I have my own FinOps training that I deliver. I just delivered such a training in Israel, and I really deep dive into the details. Yeah, it's not only the process, but it's into the detail. Yeah, at the end of the day, you need to speak to a DevOps engineer and have a discussion with him on why should we consider changing the disk type, or why should we consider optimizing the Kubernetes cluster. Yeah, I need to have the language, like I said, and I need to be in the details. So this is one thing. And this brought me to the understanding of, okay, once I see the cloud cost and once I understand the architecture, I know very quickly where the pain is, where the waste is. I mentioned Kubernetes. To my opinion, if you are running Kubernetes, it means that you are paying double of what you need to pay. Now let's check it. Let's check. Maybe I'm wrong. So if you spend $100K a month on Kubernetes clusters, give me a chance. Yeah, I will try to show you that there is waste over there. And if we'll identify that there is a 30% savings, 40% saving, 50% saving opportunity, is it interesting? And if you say yes, let's explore it further. Usually when organizations see this list of saving opportunities, they say, okay, let's take it to the next to the next level. Let's explore what Eli is saying. And usually I'm correct. Yeah, usually I point to the places where we can generate a lot of savings. And this is on top of committing to infrastructure and on top of, the standard optimization practices. Usually the organizations invite me after they did all of that. And then I do my thing. I understand how the infrastructure is built. I understand the pricing models. I see a lot of organizations, so I know where are the pains and where the waste is. And this is where we say, okay, there is an opportunity. Let's run a program. Let's run an optimization program, and that's how it works.
So, how different it is working for different businesses which belongs to different industries?
Very different, very different. Yes, so I support a bank, one of actually the largest bank in Israel, and some enterprises organizations, like large organizations. And over there, the focus is on building a program, documentations, writing a policy. For every activity, we need a policy. So you cannot just go and reserve capacity or purchase savings plans or reserved instances. You are not allowed to do it unless there is a written policy on how to do this, what is the approval process, what are the considerations, and so on. So it's kind of an organization thing to take actions. And for that, we need to write a policy, and we need to understand the organization and the different business units, and to think about risk management and compliances and kind of a total different engagement than when I work with a rapid pace startup who is chasing the market, who just want to bring more customers and more POCs in. And then speed is what's matter. Yeah, they take into consideration, okay, there is a saving opportunity, but the team is busy. We are not going to focus on that now. Yeah, we need to deliver product. We need to support these customers. So it's less about processes, but more about finding the attention to implement and to prioritize the saving activities. Totally different. The techies are also very early adopters of new technology. So OpenAI, Bedrock, GenAI, and so on, they go for it from the early days, and this brings new challenges. Hey, what is the pricing model of this? Is this, how much it's going to cost us in production? Because I don't have so many examples because it's a new trend. Yeah, you need to explore it on the go. With the larger organization, it goes step by step, and it brings me also to different type of activities. For example, with one of my large organizations, we build a training program to train thousands of developers around the globe. This is not going to happen in a startup. Yeah, startups, we have a call with the techie team. Hey, be aware of the pricing model, take the decisions accordingly, and in 30-minute discussion, we can achieve a lot of. We can plan and take decisions. In larger organization, it may require a process to be written first and then to discuss and take decisions.
What do you say as a technologist looking at the Amazon Web Services?
So I worked for Amazon for years, so I'm biased. Yeah, but Amazon is when people ask me about Amazon Web Services, I say it's the sun of the tech world. Yeah, it's like the gravity of the tech world. If you are into technology, you need to be into AWS. You need to understand AWS. And that's the best career career recommendation I can give to anyone. You want to build your career, get to know AWS, something good will come out of it. Yeah, even if you'll find yourself dealing with Google or with Azure later on, but Azure is the AWS is the cornerstone of the cloud industry. And if you're in technology, you want to be part of the cloud industry. So invest the time needed to know AWS better. That's my recommendation. That's my view.
Great. So, how do you understood this technology and business connection?
So it used to be that there is no technology, no connection. Yeah. And I see it in many organizations. There is one line for a budget. Okay. What is our budget for cloud infrastructure? Let's say $1 million a month or $1 million a year. And that's it. It used to be that the finance people really do not understand what's going on, that the DevOps team is doing, that the architects are doing. The total disconnect. But in the last year or two, I see that there is a changing trend. And also the organization I support, I say, okay, if you have a budget of $1 million a year, let's break it down to understand what's part of it. Cloud infrastructure, and maybe we pay for different tools. We purchase Datadog and New Relic and CoreLogix and Snowflake and Orca Security and whatever. This is also part of your cost. So first, from finance point of view, let's understand the cost structure. Let's break it down. Let's understand also who is the owner within the organization. Usually the owner is a techie person. This helps me makes the connection. Hey, you are using Databricks. It costs us $100K a year. So you are actually the budget owner. So I try to connect between finance and the tech team or the data team or the AI team. But this is the early days of this. So the change and the connection only starts to pick up and to happen. And in most of organizations, this connection does not exist or is a very light. And that's a change that needs to happen. And once it happens, and once finance people are get engaged, they ask different type of questions. How much does it cost? Is there an alternative? Can we bring a tool to drop the cost down? Can we negotiate a different agreement? So once finance will get into the loop in a higher scale, I believe good things will happen, but it will require them to learn and to invest and to, learn this new language of cloud infrastructure and cloud agreements. It's not only the infrastructure, it's also the business terms that we need to deal with. And this is actually one of my focus area. Yeah, how can we improve the business terms when we use cloud? So the connection will pick up more and more in the coming years, but there will be a lot of obstacles on the way because finance people do not know to speak the cloud language. So it will take them years to pick it up. Once they pick it up, good things will happen to the organizations.
Do you even speak with the developers and DevOps engineers who is actually reason for the business software?
Yes, for sure. So first I need to earn their trust. Yeah, at the end of the day, they do they build the infrastructure. Yeah, they build the foundation of the product. So I have to be in touch with them and to speak with them. And this is where, my technology background comes to play. I can speak their language. I can understand the architecture. I don't understand everything. Yeah, I'm I'm not, an expert in any technology aspect of the platform, but I understand good enough, or I can learn, on the go. But I'm on a daily basis, I'm engaged with the techie team to raise ideas or to ask questions about different workloads. And once we identify the saving opportunities together, and we sometimes have a debate on it. I would say, hey, we can save 20% of it or 30% on it. And maybe the DevOps engineer will say, no, it's optimized. It's good as is. I like it this way. Let's not touch it. And that's fair enough. Yeah, it's fair enough, because the DevOps team are actually, they know how the platform behave. So sometimes they need spare capacity. That's okay. If you thought about it and if you understand that it is needed, I'm good with that. So on a daily basis, I have discussions with these teams. But on the daily basis, I also connect what I discuss with the techie people and how it will gonna reflect our cost. Because I deal also a lot with projection. Finance team, they want to project the spend, and they want to know the spend, let's say, even on a monthly basis, they want to know it ahead of time. So I deal a lot with projection, and in order to deal a lot with projection, I need to know what the DevOps team and what the product team and what the R&D team are planning to implement. So I try to be ahead and understand the product roadmap. I also try to understand how new releases, let's say you deploy the new release, how is it impacting our cost? Maybe there is an error, a bug, a loop that generate, or maybe we are processing tons of new files that generates new costs. I want to be aware of it. Yeah, sometimes we even do rollback to new product releases because someone didn't pay attention that, okay, we're going to scan or we're going to process 1 million documents. This has impact on the costs. Yeah. So speaking with the techie team is a daily business thing for me.
How is cloud usage in Israel?
Excuse me?
How is cloud services usage in Israel?
So I think Israel is one of the leading cloud markets, after the US and maybe some of the leading economies in the world. But, as a small country, I think Israel is one of the top cloud spenders. Every new technology company is cloud first. I would not see a startup that is built on-premise infrastructure and that they order 10 servers to their data center. That's not the thing here. Here it's like you start a business, you go to AWS console and you started to build. So, and we have organizations like Orca Security, Wiz, Coral Logic, Slogs.io, Get, Mobileye, every name from every business in Israel. They use cloud infrastructure in a large scale. So that's on the techie startup, rapid phase type of companies. But few years ago, the Israeli government made a decision to become a cloud first organization. So this made AWS and GCP build up regions in Israel. So actually, all the public sector in Israel have to follow this government decision and become cloud first organizations. So we now see a huge wave of newcomers to the cloud. All the public sector is moving to the cloud now. And think about this. These are government ministries. These are health organization. This impacts also the banking, and this impacts the insurance market. So these have a gravity of making the large organizations and the enterprises move to the cloud. And so this will generate a huge momentum, additional momentum of cloud usage. So I would say, I don't know to say on what Israel is for AWS, like, is it number 3 or number 4 or number 5? But I can say for the size of the economy and the size of the population, I'm sure Israel is at the top of the list.
So, having a technology background and having understanding about different businesses which belongs to different industries, how do you uh, have communication with business owners who doesn't have technology knowledge?
So that's my value. I know how to connect between the techies and the executives. So when I come to an engagement, I work in a CEO, founder, CFO, COO level. No one will hire me if an executive is not. Usually the executive is the one to hire me, because they do want someone to translate the techies and what they do to their KPIs. I don't know how to track what the DevOps team is doing. I don't know to say if it's good or bad. I don't know if it can be improved. This is from the executive point of view. So that's why they hire me. And actually, I implement a process that implement transparency into the organization. We put the KPIs that everyone is measuring, techies and business and finance. How much does what the product cost us from a unit perspective cost us? Yeah. Let's say we run an AI model. How much running one AI model cost us? So once we are identifying what is the KPI, we can also translate it to a projected budget. We can translate it to the margin of our business or the margin from a specific customer. So I try to come up with a KPI that everyone in the organization track it. And this is how we track it. It can be more than one KPI, but this is how we track our health of the application and the health of the business. And this is the language that we put into place between the executives and the techies. But that's exactly the gap that I'm feeling within the organizations.
So, how much time you usually take in order to do analysis of an organization who are using cloud services?
So it depends on the size of the organization and how available they are. But I would say that after 2 months or 3 months of kind of meeting the teams, analyzing the cost, understanding the business, understanding the current processes, and so on, this is where I have my view about where we are, what can we do to improve, what is the saving opportunity, what do we need from operational point of view, what processes we need to implement. And this is where I start to to come up with kind of a program. I present it to the executives, to the teams, and then usually they of course they may have comments and so on, but usually they say, okay, sounds good, let's go and implement it. And the implementation may take time. Yeah, prioritization. The team are busy with other activities. Implementing different technologies take time. If I recommend to use a specific tool, I mentioned Kubernetes. Yeah, so I would say, hey, let's explore ScaleOps, who will save you some dollars on Kubernetes. Now one needs to evaluate the tool. Someone needs to see if Eli is correct. Someone needs to evaluate the saving opportunity. And usually it's going to be the DevOps person who will do it. And we need to generate the availability. We need to generate the knowledge. It may take time to implement these recommendations and to evaluate it. So I would say 2 months, 3 months is the time that takes me to come up with observations and recommendations. Usually it also comes along with the saving opportunity. Yeah, I try to show that there is a saving opportunity and that we can generate ROI. So it will justify putting the focus for the next year on this and this and these activities. So that's kind of a typical engagement.
So I'm sure you might have heard, your clients or your the business owners that you work with, having this question that if they are, trying to reduce reduce the finances that or the expenses that they are spending on AWS services, they may lose the quality of the or quality or the productivity of their business since they are using they are reducing the size of the the services that they're using. So how you convince them or how you showcase them like it's nothing is going to happen, it is the same, but you are wasting your money on something that is not useful.
So the product and the business is the top one priority. Let's say it this way. Yeah, the business needs to run and product needs to deliver new features, and there is a competition, and product needs to generate market differentiation. So the product is the winner. That's my philosophy. But I try to showcase the places where, hey, you are taking a truck to ride a motorcycle. Yeah. And there are many, usually I manage to find these opportunities or these scenarios where the infrastructure is just not efficient. It can be that it's over provisioned, or the architecture is not efficient, or there is no timeline or timeout on a specific activity, or there are a lot of retries, or a lot of failures, or a lot of non-paying customers in the platform that abuse the platform. There can be dozens of scenarios that are not going to impact the business. And if we implement a solution that is impacting the cost or the performance of the platform, let's roll it back. Yeah, no one here wants to damage performance. Yeah, we want to get the best performance, but we want to have it in the most efficient manner. And if everything is perfect, we can also try to implement to improve the commercial terms that we sign with the cloud vendors, or that we sign with the different tool providers, with the different ISVs. So it's not only about the infrastructure efficiency. I do a lot of work on negotiating better terms for the organizations, or replacing one tool by another. It's also saving. The saving can come from many places. But the product is a winner. We are not here to damage the product. We are here to make the product much more efficient. And usually what I see is that once the techies understand the nuances, they will come up with a solution that will save us dollars, but will also make the product more efficient and higher performance and so on. So this concern exists, but usually we overcome it and we manage to improve the technical KPIs of a platform as well as the business KPI of a platform.
So how these technology, especially the cloud companies, It can be Amazon Web Services or Azure Cloud or Google Cloud provider. How these companies are impacting the planet today?
Uh, uh, how are they impacting the planet? I will go on a positive side, on the positive answer. Let's say at the end of the day, they invest millions or hundreds of millions and so on innovating and on becoming more efficient and introducing more efficient processors. For example, you can take, for example, the Graviton processor that AWS introduced that consumes much less power versus the Intel and AMD processor. So, or any processor that runs in a customer data center. So I would say that they, of course, they contribute to CO2 emissions, but I think they are more efficient. Using cloud infrastructure is about helping an organization to be more efficient also for carbon footprint and so on, because they spend tons of dollars on becoming more efficient and offer this technology to you as a customer. But it's on the customer to be efficient and to pay attention to the planet. Not all organizations do that. You know, there are regulations around the world that actually force organizations to report their carbon emissions and so on. But I think the cloud providers can help us become more, friendly to the planet. But you know, the world itself, I think, let's look at it globally. I don't think the world itself is friendly to the world. You know, you know that there are a lot of countries who cut trees and make fires to allow the cattle to have more places to eat. So it's we can all be better. Let's say this way. As humans, we can be better, yeah. But I think the cloud providers give us the tools to be more earth friendly, you know.
And something must be motivating you and making you wake up in the morning every day and do this. So, what is that thing that is making you work in the cloud industry and help businesses in maintaining and managing their businesses?
So first, let's mention the time that we record this podcast. Yeah, I woke up at 5:30 a.m. To be ready for this discussion. Yeah, so I'm motivated. I think we are all part of something really good, really big. Yeah, it's fascinating to see the change. It's fascinating to see the value and the speed that the cloud enables each one of us. And that's inspiring and that's exciting. And I think I do good. You know, I spoke yesterday with a potential customer of mine, and they said, "Hey, Eli, you are a boutique business. Why shouldn't we take one of the big consulting firms? And they have much bigger, better brand and so on." And I said, "That's it's your decision who you are going to take. But if you work with me, you work with me, and I give you, you know, the top I can provide to anyone." So I'm really motivated. I invest a lot into learning more. This business is rapid pace. You always need to learn something new. And I work very closely with some of the top technologists in Israel. So I'm fed with the next trends. So it's exciting. It's a good position to be in. I bring great value to the customer, to the organizations I support. I become their partner, actually. So there are organizations that I I left AWS 2 years ago. I worked with them for 2 years, and we signed up an agreement for another year. So they are an organization I support and going to support for 3 years. This is huge, to bring value to an organization on a daily basis for a few years. That's impressive. Yeah. So seems I do something good. And it fuels me, and discussion with you also, you reached out from India, Yeah, that's nice. That's cool. It's exciting. Yeah. So, exciting things happens, and let it continue happening, let it roll.
So in order to have this problem solving ability for the constant change that is happening in the industry and in the world, what are those qualities that help you to to earn or to develop this quality? Like what are those qualities?
I think you deal with people. Yeah. So you need to be I would say it's a combination uh, to be human friendly, to know how to have to know to connect to people. Yeah, I need to earn trust. I need to get into an organization. The organization has to accept me, and the organization is the people. So I think that the number one, uh, need is to know how to be good with people. Be nice, be a person that someone wants to engage with you. On the other end, you need to be very conscious for the time and of the people, because people are busy. People are very, very busy, and they have tasks for the next 60 days. They are packed with activities. So how do you manage to bring value to the discussion on a daily basis to different stakeholders? It can be AI people, data team, DevOps team, R&D team, product managers, finance, and so on. So you need to learn quite a lot about the personas that you engage with. And once you are good with people and you understand the motivation of the different stakeholders in the organization, and you try to bring value, you don't want to waste anyone's time. That's a good start. That's the magic.
Wonderful. So at last, what do you say about your business to my audience for watching this and who are listening to you from anywhere on this planet?
So first, I would say thank you for spending the time to listen to this podcast and discussion. So this is first thing. Thank you. Second, if you want to get, if you are not, if you are broad, I will give few points. First, if you are making your thoughts, is cloud good to me, good to my career, and so on, yeah, go for it. Go all into cloud industry. Become the top expert you can be, no matter what you are doing. You can do DevOps engineer, you can be networking, you can do performance, whatever. Just be good, and this will pay for your career. I would say will give you a good life. And if you are a spender, if you are a cloud spender, you spend 200K a month, 300K a month, 1 million a month, 5 million a month, and you want to implement a cloud practice and to optimize your spend, and maybe to sign up for better terms with your cloud providers, I'm here to support. And I quite confident we'll have an interesting journey together. We'll save some dollars, and everyone will be happy.
I wish more people and more organizations and more business leaders will get benefit with your help and your support.
I'm here to help. I'm here to help.
Great. As a leader, as a person who is a constant learner, as a person who is into doing analysis of different things, in businesses and also talking with people. What's your observation about my work? Have you seen any videos of mine on YouTube?
So I'm inspired from your curiosity and being, asking the relevant questions. That's the cool thing, and being motivated to reach out to people. Yeah, we didn't know each other till two months. When you reached out and I asked about your business, and I say, what is this about? And then I say, oh, this is cool. And then I listened to some of the podcasts, and I saw you interviewed Jeff Barr. You know, that's what I say. Do it. Aim higher. That's what I say about myself, and this is what you do about yourself and your business. So it's really exciting to see what you do. And you have one more follower, and actually, I believe once this will be published, I will publish it also in Israel. So you will have few more followers in Israel. So it's cool. It's cool. I like it very much. I like your smile. That's the most important thing. That's being communicative, being good with people. That's what we need to be good.
I have done masters in software engineering, also bachelors in computer science and engineering. Right now, I'm working as DevOps engineer for a London company. So that's my full-time role. Apart from that, I'm interviewing experts like you who are already in the industry and who are solving different problems and being in different industries from different parts of the world. Not just technology experts. I'm also trying to interview authors, psychologists, doctors, police officers. Like I'm trying to explore other human beings who are working in other domains or other positions. So, and also I'm trying to explore different positions in technology, like directors, also CEOs, also coming from the engineer, architects, all kinds of people, and from all kinds of countries, like all countries. So, what I'm going to learn as an observer, as an expert, how this experience talking with people, all these kind of different diversified people, how this experience is going to be contributing to my career and for my development.
I'm sure it will support and will contribute to your career. Different people from different places around the globe, from different industries, brings different perspectives, and you will be just more knowledgeable from anyone else who is not having these discussions. At the end of the day, you learn from people, from their experience, from their challenges, from things they do. And the more you interact and the more you ask and the more you are curious and the more you speak to people, you will be more knowledgeable, and maybe also you will get different ideas. And today you are a DevOps engineer. Who knows where you're going to be 2 years from today? I actually believe that, if you aim higher, you will get higher. So let's follow your career, but I'm sure your career will evolve and will progress. And these people that you speak with will give you the ideas, will inspire you, will motivate you, and so on. So I'm sure you are on the right path.
Do you have words for just, the Amazon Web Services vice president if he's watching and listening to you right now?
Excuse me. Can you repeat?
Do you have words for Jeff Barr from Amazon Web Services, the vice president? If he's watching and listening to you right now, do you have words about the services that AWS is providing, and any other advice or suggestion that you want to give? Or
So first, I'm following Jeff Barros for years. Yeah, since he had the purple hair and this, so I follow his hairstyle and so on, and all of his announcements. So this is one thing. So I'm a big follower. I must admit that I met Jeff Barr when I was in AWS. It was just before COVID. I don't remember the year, maybe 2020 or 2019. And I handed over my book to him. I said, hey, Jeff, this is my book. I want you to have it. And he was like, it was in Seattle. I was on a trip from Israel to the Seattle office. I brought my book. I said, if I'm going to meet Jeff Barr, I want him to have the book. And I met him, and it took him a while. And then he said, hey, Eli, I read the book. I love it. Amazing, amazing work you did. And he tweeted about it, and he posted it on LinkedIn. So first I want to say thank you, Jeff. You spend the time to read the book, and you spend the time to recommend it. I really, really appreciate it. I'm sure you're a busy person. So I really appreciate that. And to all the Amazon folks, keep on bringing the best technology to the market. Yeah, it's inspiring what you are doing. I'm in touch with the Annapurna team. Annapurna is the team who are developing the new processors for Amazon. So amazing work what you do. I'm always inspired about the technology you are introducing to the market. They are also based in Israel, so it's an Israeli pride to have this technology coming from Israel. But all of Amazon employees, keep on innovating. It's inspiring, and we will continue to be around you. That's the place for me.
Great, great, sir. Can I put this video on my YouTube channel with your permission?
Of course. That's why we are here.
And also, can I put this audio and video clip on my podcast, website, internet, social media, everywhere with your permission?
Yes.
And do
Definitely.
you have your book online? I will share the link with my audience. They can.
Yeah. Actually, it's on Amazon, so it's on Amazon.com. That's how people would purchase it around the world. So I will send you the link afterwards, and of course, I'll be happy that you'll share that with the audience.
Yeah, I'll put in the description of this video and also on my website as well. People who find this video anywhere in the internet can able to see the link and can able to learn how to optimize the cost in your words.
Yes.
Thank you, sir, again
Sure.
for your valuable time and sharing your valuable experience and answering to some of my questions.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Exciting.
Thank you, sir, again. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir.